Hello again. Geeks assembled.
Hello.
Susan's over there. I'm over here, and we are discussing the Doctor Who season finale, entitled "Empire of Death." Last time we was here, we was talking about the first part of this, where Sutekh had won, and we wanted to know what's going to happen next. And the finale aired yesterday. I don't know if Susan liked it. You don't know if I liked it yet or not. But I have been making notes. I've got notes.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good for you. That's awesome.
yes. They might be not good notes, but
Oh,
yeah. Sutek was winning, and the Doctor had to somehow, get 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 everything put together and sort him out. Um, so we'll go over to Susan with her opening thoughts on Empire of Death.
yeah. Well, it looked like he was like he was turning the whole planet Earth into sand, basically. Removing all the organic material and bringing death. And just like the audio adventure that we're going to talk about today, he uh he forced the Doctor into the role of bringing the life of being life bringer. And I mean, like that's really what the story's been like. I liked the name, the Empire of Death, because it really was. I mean, he's kind of like Palpatine with uh with a bad case of Dalek extermination, really. I mean, he just I don't know how you can be an emperor or a god of something that is completely devoid of life. I mean, talk about making things incredibly boring. Anyway, yeah. Sutekh was really powerful though. There was plenty of dead people, and the as each person died, I was like, no, 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 no. And that was hard. I mean, it was just there was a hell of a lot of jeopardy there. And yeah, and at the end, the woman who brought uh Ruby into the world is discovered finally. And so she's just a normal person, and don't know why it was so hard, but maybe it's just because she's never been in trouble. And none of her kids have ever been in trouble, and none of them have ever done a 23andMe, and nobody's ever done any sort of genetics study or anything like that. Which anymore, I guess, is a very rare person. I liked uh I liked her though. Um, she was a pretty likable, young lady. She looked like she was about the same age as Ruby. That was the weird thing.
Mhm.
I mean, the only one who really looked her age was Ruby's adoptive mom, and that was cool. And I don't know, I was really enjoying that whole discovery process all the time. And um yeah, Gabriel um Wolf again. the voice from the ages. He's voiced Sutekh in almost everything that Sutekh has ever been in, and that's really cool. Um, I wonder how he deals with the paradoxes that his character has gotten into, being that, this one seems a little bit like it's the story is kind of pretty similar to the to kill the Dr. Age of Sutekh that we're going to review later in so many ways. From the perspective of Sutekh. I mean, everything but the robotic form mummies
Mm,
and the
I was hoping for them.
yeah, I know you were asking for that, and I thought that they might like try and loop in some of that stuff that was on the Orient Express from Capaldi's. You can actually see a similarity only because of Egypt, right? But
Mm,
yeah, I enjoyed that, and I do like a little bit of archaeology, but there wasn't any about Sutekh in this, so I was like, that's what I liked about the whole Bernice Summerfield ones with Sutekh, and it was the archaeology. Um, what can I say? I like Daniel Jackson. I like River Song. I like Bernice Summerfield, and I like Egyptology, for crying out loud. So yeah. Uh but there was some cool unit moments in there, but yeah. Uh yeah, that's pretty much all my opening thoughts. Um but I just wanted to say that I'm glad Gabriel Wolf is still voicing it. I'm really glad because man has a freaking sweet voice. I mean, just the greatest voice. Like a deep resonance and a boom to it. And oh my gosh. Yeah. When he says, I'm like, anyway, um, I think that's all I've got for right now. Back over to you, Lee.
well, thanks, Susan. After my few praises last week of the episode,
Right.
I had hopes that, as they say, the robotic mummies would be there, or Sutekh would transform into the human form he had in the pyramids of Maz, which he never did. He remained the jackal.
Hmm.
Um, and to me, I was just very disappointed with this episode, to be honest. Sutekh didn't have much to do in this one. Um, so they built him up in the first episode, and then they sort of didn't use him in this one.
Hmm.
Um, and for a finale, I was very let down. There's only two things what stood out for me in this finale, and that was Gabriel Wolf, as you say, the voice, unmistakable voice, and Bonnie Langford
Yeah.
as Mel, showing she can act.
Uh-huh.
Those are the only two things what really made it for me. The rest of it, a load of trash. Because it, we're to believe that Sutekh had been wrapped around that Tardis since the Pyramids of Mars episode,
Oh.
right? So everywhere the Tardis landed after that, Sutekh placed a Susan triad. Everywhere that TARDIS landed, there was a Susan triad.
Hmm.
Why now in 2024 did Sutekh decide this is the time to strike? No reasoning. So, if that's the case, and he's been wrapped around the TARDIS since Pyramids of Mars adventure, do you remember the episode The Doctor's Wife,
Mm-hmm.
where the TARDIS became sentient?
Yeah.
Why didn't surely she would have said something.
Yeah. Then what about when the master turned the Doctor's TARDIS into a paradox machine?
Yeah. And also, when Captain Jack rode the TARDIS in the vortex.
You think he would have been pushed off?
Yeah. All the TARDISes at Day of the Doctor, was it Day of the Doctor, where the 13 TARDISes turned up?
Yeah.
So there would have been maybe 9 Suteks.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Also, when Ncuti duplicated the TARDIS for the Tennant's Doctor, so does that mean there's another Sutekh on Tennant's TARDIS?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Um, Questions, no answers. This is all in my notes here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. The action scenes were brilliantly done. The dust and the destruction. But to me, it was just from the movie The Mummy. Stole from that, and then also people turning to dust. That was the Avengers. The
Uh-huh.
snap, wasn't it? The end game and Infinity.
Yeah.
So RTD's just stealing again. Um, the mother thing, what a letdown. You're building up this mysterious woman. We need to find the mother. There's something special about her. No, she's an ordinary woman. She was 15 when she had you and dumped you on the church steps. That's it.
Yeah.
All for others. That's not a big payoff. Why would Sutekh want to know who she was? Why would a god want to know who she was? I just don't understand that.
Right.
Um, what else was there? I mean, the thing of she was pointing at a road sign. Sorry, the social services named her, not the mother. I thought, what a load of bollocks. She was naming you. She was pointing at the road sign. What bollocks? This is bad writing. Oh, and I'm not even halfway down my list.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going,
oh,
Lee.
oh, the metal. Why that scene on that planet? Sutekh destroyed life. He didn't destroy the metal. So there was metal on Earth.
Yeah.
Um, the Doctor was wearing rings. He had a necklace. He could have done used any of that. So that scene on that planet, just a waste of time, in my opinion. Um, no explanation. Still no explanation why it snowed.
Right.
Really, no explanation for that. Where the hell did the Remembrance TARDIS come from? No explanation for that. Just appeared. So I've done that, done that, done that. Yeah, mate, done that. Whew. There was now. This is. I mean, also as well. Death plus death equals life is a load of rubbish. Death plus death equals life. What hymn sheet is RTD singing from here? Death plus death doesn't equal life.
But it is
Yeah.
it is true that the doctor would has in various circumstances been the one to bring the life back.
Yeah. Well, you just brought me around to the other one. How many times has the reset button been used in Doctor Who? There was another reset. Oh, look, everybody's back again. They're all alive. A reset. Boring. Um,
Hmm.
what was it? Doctor, of course, cried again and again and again. Boring. Um, Rose Noble, as I said last week, why was she in the episode last week? She didn't do anything in this episode apart from turn to sand and then come back again. Boring. Um, Scientific advisor, 13-year-old, but he was allowed to handle a machine gun.
That's very American.
Yeah. Uh,
And
and the,
it wasn't like he was it was um it was like one of the normal ones. It was like one that was built into his
it's a thing, yeah.
yeah, his scooter.
Um,
I mean, it is sort of a trope now with unit that the any of the disabled members of unit will have high-tech weaponry in their
so we can't have Davros in his life support machine because RTD thinks it goes against the disabled fans, but he'll allow disabled people to wield toting machine guns. You know, I don't get it. It the man boggles. Um, while I was in the memory Tardis and they were looking at the Pyramids of Mars clips, and Ruby said, "Why all the Egypt stuff from the Pyramids of Mars scenes?" And the Doctor says, "Cultural appropriation." That's the RTD trying to get another fucking message across. It wasn't cultural appropriation at all. The Asirans were the aliens. They came to Earth. They taught the Egyptians. It wasn't cultural appropriation. RTD, get your facts right. Just you're trying to be a bit big-headed. Do you know what? I hate the guy. Sorry. We thought he was a savior. Yeah. Cultural appropriation. I'm getting there.
okay.
Never explained why the Doctor in several episodes was scared and always running away. Never explained. All this season and no explanation for that. Um, Now this is the biggie. Showed the scene of the on the screen of the prime minister who bought all the missiles in 73 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ruby changed that course of history, so he resigned as he never became the prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
So why did the Doctor travel to 2046 to get all the DNA files? What him, the prime minister, had made law, but he can't have done because he never became prime minister.
Because he left in the middle of that
So either,
preliminary rally, political
either
rally.
yeah. So he never became prime minister. So that law never shouldn't have come in. So or as they just retconned 73 yards, and that's never happened at all. And he did become prime minister. If that's the case, 73 yards was a waste of time. But there again, there's another thing here. None of it should have happened, this story. Because if Sutekh was placing a Susan triad everywhere the TARDIS landed after Pyramids of Mars to bring the gift of death to any planet any time, as the Doctor said, 1066, 1980, whatever. There was a Susan Triad wherever. The earliest I can think where the TARDIS had gone back, maybe City of Death,
Yeah.
where it was the beginning of life on the planet.
Yeah.
So there would have been a Susan Triad there. She'd have brought the gift of death at that point in time. So the Earth would have died. So none of the future Susan Triads would have happened because Earth would have been dead then. Pyramids of Mars wouldn't have happened. Sutekh would never have been hitched a ride on the TARDIS.
He never
So
would have. He never would have
never
been
would have been.
able to connect with Abraham
Yeah.
and
So
the
what?
pyramids of Mars.
Yeah. So what's RTD done? It's created another paradox.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, people think I may be just a thick northern lad here, but I've been sat watching that, and I'm thinking, well, hold on a minute. If you're placing a Susan Triad everywhere the TARDIS has gone, it's destroy. All you have to do is destroy the Earth once. Not. It doesn't matter what year. If if it was 1066, where in the
Yeah,
time
the only people that would do it repeatedly over and over and over again would be the Daleks.
yeah,
So I mean, he isn't a god. He's just another Dalek, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, so the earlier,
He's either a god or he's a Dalek.
yeah. I mean, the earlier the Doctor travelled back in time, whether it was the Fourth Doctor, Fifth Doctor, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, or Ninth, whatever, that it would have been destroyed. So as I say, the happenings of Pyramids of Mars wouldn't happen because Earth would have been destroyed. So Sutekh would never have jumped on the TARDIS. So he would never have been able to do the Susan Triad trick, and so none of this would never have happened. RTD, you're a hack writer. Very much a very, very bad writer. Reusing ideas you've used before and trying to palm them off as new. One more thing. Mrs. Flood. Not another unanswered question. Who is she? And a lot of people are saying because of what she was dressed up as
Clara
wearing.
Oswald.
She had the Clara outfit, but she can't be Clara because Clara's in a set time just before her death, isn't she?
Yeah, and Clara's also scooting around the universe with me or
Yeah.
with,
So it can't be Clara,
Shielder or whatever her name is.
and then she's up on the roof, sort of dressed like Romana from the Rebos operation.
Yeah.
The fair, and then she's got the umbrella, like Missy, or the White Guardian in Rebos
Yeah.
operation. He was under a white umbrella.
Yeah.
Is it Susan? I doubt it. But
I was
some people,
thinking because it kind of also looked like something that Barbara Wright would have worn. Maybe it was Barbara. Because we saw, but why would she be called Mrs. Flood and not Mrs. Chesterton?
and also as well, why would she say she's always hiding away? But you see, the other thing is trying to make out that it was Clara. She had that when she said "clever boy." Clara used to say that, but some people are thinking the way she was wearing different clothes and her name is Mrs. Flood. Is that a nod to the person who voiced Chameleon? Because the actor was called Gerald Flood.
Oh,
So could it be a version of Chameleon?
Huh.
I don't know, because you may never find out. Because Russell T Davies sometimes has no intentions to give you answers. But I think I've gone through all my list there. I can't think. I've mostly missed some other stuff, but
But yeah,
yeah,
that was a rather complete list.
yeah. As I was watching it, I was just writing things down. Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, so it's completely created a paradox,
that it
which,
has.
which is the second paradox in the season. Because
Yeah,
73 Yards was a paradox as well.
yeah. And the other
Well,
thing is like, you know, Millie Gibson, this was supposedly her last episode with the show.
well, yeah. Well, apparently RTD says it isn't now. I
Oh,
don't know. She might come back for the Christmas special. I don't know.
okay. Well, the weird thing is like, didn't feel like, I mean, there hadn't been any character growth with her.
This is what. This is
Because
This is what.
she started out really powerful and really unique because of her mother,
Mm,
because she
oh,
was raised that way by someone who was empowering. So
yeah.
she didn't require a hell of a lot of doctor who strengthening. And she didn't need to be humbled. So I
Mm,
mean, because of all of that, 73 yards was an uncomfortable paradox, like you said.
yeah. I mean, I said that the character and the other character wouldn't develop because after three sort of episodes, you think there's no development going on here, and she's been the sort of the same all the way through.
Yeah.
But and when you only asked, oh yeah, she's like a one season companion, but now RTD says, so no, no, you'll see her again. So I don't know. But we're going back to the vortex thing and Sutekh.
Oh yeah, like he looked like a dog on a leash being dragged through the
Yeah,
vortex. He didn't look menacing at all.
it
And
looked like
how come
Scooby. Looked like Scooby Doo.
a little bit, yeah.
But abs- he he's travelled on the TARDIS millions of years. Because when you think about it, how many times has the TARDIS travelled? How many years has it travelled? I mean, look, Matt Smith's Doctor when he was on Trenzalore, how many years did he spend there with the TARDIS?
Right.
Also, in oh, can't remember. Is it the name of the Doctor where the TARDIS becomes the Doctor's grave?
Yeah.
And it's sort of a just a tomb. So
Uh-huh.
was still there. Hellbent
Uh-huh.
when
And Heaven Sent and Hell Bent
yeah
when he's got the pocket, his his dial, his confession dial, and the all of Gallifrey's in there.
right now this is where I'm getting at now. We see with the vortex thing, death plus death equals life, bringing life back to all the universe. Does that mean Gallifrey's back?
Does that mean none of those guys are Cybermen anymore?
Well,
I know
because
you missed this, but at the end of one of Jodie's series with the timeless children, you know,
yeah,
uh, the the reality of Gallifrey is that every Gallifreyan became a Cyberman.
yeah, I heard about
That
that.
means uh that means that all of the people there were, I mean, like Ace and Leela and also Susan Foreman, who just happened to be there because she was dragged back in all hands on deck, and Romana, and I mean all these ones, Drax, excuse me, Drax and what's the other one's name? Anyway, all of all the Castellans, all of the Rassilons, everybody became a Cyberman. And so, and then what about all the ones that came out of the grave in the United in the unit's 12th Doctor bit? There's a lot of questions I got now.
That's what I mean. So if he's brought life back to all the universe, Gallifrey must be back.
Scarrow.
Scarrow's back.
He mentioned Scarrow by name.
Yeah. So it's a big reset. So he cannot be the last of the Time Lords again.
Yay!
But with Sutekh traveling in the vortex all them years, those many, many years, I don't think the vortex would have destroyed him like that.
No, and I don't think he would have been unable to jump back on, because he must have been like thrown about a bit at times due to the Doctor being a rubbish TARDIS driver until his sixth personality. I mean, he went through all of the fifth Doctor, the fourth with the randomizer, and the fifth with the Guardians. Trying to outdo anyway. Those and the modern undead and those things, all those crazy situations, he would have had to have been there, and he wouldn't have had any trouble surviving in the vortex.
No, because all those years, and all of a sudden it just sort of destroys him. I don't, I didn't get that. That was too easy. But that's the way they want to write this stuff these days. I just don't get it. But yeah, I know I'm not being very enamored with this season.
No, but you
But I say what I feel, and I can't say something's amazing if it's not. And to me, this season hasn't been. I mean, as I say, it got my hopes up last week because the sort of storyline was quite good. And then the reveal of Sutekh, but we all knew it was Sutekh because we'd figured it out a few weeks back. But then to come to this episode and with the big letdown, you're building it up. Ruby's mother, nobody. Wow. What a great story act this is. I don't know. Anything else you want to say about Empire of Death?
yeah, the the only thing that I really wish is that they would have explained why Egypt was why it was connected to Egypt. I mean, in my humble opinion, Egypt should have come in somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it did in the it did in the Bernice Summerfield one, and it did in in the pyramids of Mars. They did talk about the sarcophagus, and
Yes.
this one they it would have been great had they had anything to do with Egypt. I mean, other than just the uh Horus. Horus is the dog god. This one looked a lot more like Horus than Seth or than Sutekh, you know. Sutekh and Seth being the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just thought that that was really interesting.
Mm.
Um, and uh, and I love me some. I love uh, science fiction that starts off in archaeology. I mean that can really be an incredibly powerful, and because it ties what's going on. It ties the kind of science that it takes. It's why I love the the God Emperor of Dune, because it's talking of it talks about the search for Earth that that Leto the second puts into effect, and all the archaeology that he does. Anyway, gotta love it. You know, all these things that tie back to Egypt, tie to Rome, tie to Palestine. I mean, like there's so much history buried in this world, you know. I was talking to my friend about the Native American beliefs about Mexico, and about the swamps in Mexico, and how, you know, if you built it on a swamp, you would it was a way to bless, like, have the water that's there bless your culture. So that's why the Aztecs were so powerful. If you wanted to know why, you know, there was such reverence about blood sacrifice from the Aztecs. Anyway, there was a lot of cool things that went on in Doctor Who that talked about you know, the origin of these things. I really did like, you know, I did like Pyramids of Mars because it started off talking about Egypt, and like that was fun. I mean, I just, you know, without that tie down to Egypt, I mean, it's just, if Sutekh was such a badass, and he was using tech, he was using Sutekh,
Hmm.
Susan Triad technology. Like, why did he need that?
Exactly.
Being that he was an ancient Egyptian god, why did he require uh a Tardis, b, it's like, what does God need with a starship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's a line
That's
from
a,
Star Trek
that's a,
5.
that's a tricky thing. Yeah.
But the real deal is, where's all the Egyptology? That's what that I thought, that one unit soldier Ibrahim
Hmm.
thought he was going to turn out to be one of the minions, because that was the name of the guy in Pyramids of Mars who was the minion.
We know who he's going to be now, don't we?
Who is he going to be?
Well, when everybody was resurrected again, didn't you see when they were all stood on the helipad looking at the blue skies? Didn't you see what he was doing?
No, what was he doing?
He was holding Kate's hand.
Oh,
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 and
oh, oh.
looked at him like that. She looked at him like that. I thought, oh, aye.
Oh, matron. Ooh. All right, I didn't catch that. I guess I have to go back and.
Yeah, it was just, when the doors open, there's the helipad there. Right,
Uh huh.
he was holding Kate's hand because they were in the middle of the screen.
Okay, I believe you. I'll go. I'll go have a look. See. Anyway, be great if we could get Gordon and some of her kids in this show too.
Yeah,
I
God,
mean,
God. How old will Gordy be now?
he's probably 25, 30. Um, all right, good. Anyway,
Right.
so we have done a lot of looking at this from a lot of critical angles. I think that it was enjoyable. It just they missed there's some potholes you could drive a forklift through,
Or a juggernaut.
and there are challenges that these folks are presenting that are, I don't know, quite annoying actually, apparently to you anyway, because you wrote them all down. And
Well, I want good science fiction. And if
yeah,
you're watching something with just plot hole after plot hole with no explanation,
yeah,
paradox after paradox, it's not good writing.
yeah.
And the sooner they get rid of RTD, the better, I would say.
Hmm.
But
I think that maybe you're not going to get rid of him. I think that he's now the JNT. He's just going to end up having to kick the bucket, as it were.
if it carries on and carries on, it's going to get cancelled.
No, no, no,
I
no. It's
don't.
not going to be canceled. Now Disney's part of it.
Uh, they've only financed 2 series, and it's all about the viewership, and they're not getting the viewership.
I don't know.
They're not because someone's been on the. Is it the Nielsen chart? Looking and the Doctor Who hasn't really entered the top 10 of viewed shows. Disney hasn't because it's all different networks and that lot, and Disney's not
Huh.
even appeared in the top 10. I think it may have appeared once at number 10, then went out the next week.
Oh,
In that, and then if that's the case, they're not even getting about 80,000 views. I mean, I'm not a mathematician. It's just one of the things I've been reading and looking online at.
oh, okay.
So,
Because I heard that they were pretty low for BBC viewership,
yeah, they're pretty low, and apparently they're
like
pretty low for
2.002 or 2.04 or something.
that was last week's. This week's is 2.25, so it's up a little bit,
Oh, okay. A
but
little bit, but
not much.
not a whole lot.
And as yet, we haven't heard how the cinema event went.
Right.
I know someone posted on X. There was at the cinema, and the posted up a picture of sort of nearly an empty theatre. I think it said 32 seats filled out of 158.
Huh.
Uh, was it worth it?
I don't know, but we didn't hear about it here in the theaters, so.
No, it was only in the UK.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
where
it was
they
only.
make their mistakes, don't you know?
Mm,
If you're gonna put things in the theater, put them in the US where theater goers are. Anyway,
but it was a stupid time. Midnight. when it's on TV at midnight anyway on BBC iPlayer. What? Who in the right mind would pay tickets to go see it when at the same time it's free to watch on the TV?
Yeah.
And also lose a night's sleep because you wouldn't have been getting out the cinema till about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Whoever thought that idea up? So, Susan, Empire of Death, Doctor Who, season finale. Final saying score?
Yeah, all right. Well, uh, I think I'll give this 7.5 Sutekh devices out of 10.
Cool.
She didn't require me to buy them. So because I just have already bought into the technology, I was already part of that. But the other thing was that I never got I never felt like I was back in Egypt, and that's the problem. See, that's why if you're gonna bring back Sutekh, you got to bring back Egypt because
That's what it's all about, isn't it? The sirens.
that's where that culture, that's where that archaeology, that's where that storyline starts, at least on this earth. So unless you're going to give it some great big huge alien arc in order to you just you even give it a Goa'uld sort of chance, which is what you need to if
Yeah.
if you're gonna take something out of Egypt and then put it in the modern and then completely separate it from Egypt, you're gonna have to create a big alien arc for it. And this just wasn't that big. Anyway, over to you, Lee.
Well, so after my hopes was raised a bit last week, they were dashed this week. I think I
At
had
least the name is the right kind of name for you, though.
what the title of the episode.
Yeah, the title of the
Yeah,
episode was
that's what you need. You do need an old-fashioned Doctor Who title for stories. Empire of Death is a classic title.
yeah.
Not Dot and Bubble and Space Babies. Jesus. Um,
Huh.
just because I enjoyed Bonnie Langford's part in the story and how her character went, and because of the return of Gabriel Wolf and his amazing voice,
Yeah.
um, so cool and sinister. Um, they're the only two positive things I can think about this because Ncuti Gatwa has not proven to me that he's a great actor or a great doctor.
Huh.
Um, so I'm going to give this 4 paradoxes out of 10,
Oh, wow.
just for Bonnie and Gabriel Wolf being there. So yeah, it was a very disappointing finale for me. But I don't think RTD is going to listen to all the backlash because he's got a ego the size of his own head, and that's big. So yeah, huge with a smug grin on his face, wants slapping. Um, so that's our review of Doctor Who: Empire of Death. Um, guys out there, let us know what you thought of it. I know we've had one person commenting on all our episodes of Doctor Who since we began. for this season. I thank you very much for that.
Nice.
And he always agrees with me.
How funny.
He doesn't agree with you. Well, anyway, but thanks for that. And I'm sure he'll comment on this video as well. But guys, if you want to comment on the videos, leave a message below. This video will go up on YouTube, Facebook, X, social, on social media platforms. So you can comment on the video below. And if you'd like to join us as well, comment on the video. Let us know. You just have to be an 18 plus, because things we review is sometimes 18 rated, or me and Susan get heated. We use words what we shouldn't do as well, which I did do today, because I'm annoyed with this season. Please get in touch with us. Let us know you want to be on here. All you need is a working camera and microphone on the device you use, and we'll try and get you on. And people who subscribe to our YouTube channel will have to subscribe and also press the bell notification button, and you'll get notified every time we put a video. It's usually 2 a week at the moment. So yeah, I mean, this one will mostly go up early on in the week at some point, because we always like to get the Doctor Who ones up while they're fresh. Yeah, other ones are slightly later, but Doctor Who ones will go up fresh. So I
Yep.
think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
We've sat through a full season of Doctor Who. Well, back in the day, a full season of Doctor Who was 26 episodes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then when the modern came back, it was 13 episodes.
but they
Now
were
it's
an hour long.
yeah, but now it's only 8 episodes, getting
I
less and
know.
less. And you would
It's
think
and
put more effort into them.
yeah, it's pretty small
Yeah,
potato.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll mostly return back to Doctor Who at Christmas time. We'll mostly do some Doctor Who audios before that anyway.
Yeah.
So
And join us later this weekend. Will you please tune in to our videos later, because we're going to be reviewing The Age of Sutekh and Kill the Doctor on audio heads.
I'll kill the Doctor, the Age of Sutekh. I hope you listen to it in the right order,
Haha.
because you won't know what's going on. This is Sutekh. So until next time, guys, please be safe, enjoy our videos, and just get in touch with us. Bye for now.